Friday, March 5th, 2021. I am the coach. This is the Early Edge presented by SportsLine. We got our college basketball mojo back a little bit last night, 3-1. We came off the Pelicans late because Zion didn't play. Good move by us. 3-3 again, ho-hum day as we start to get our little mojo back heading into a big weekend. No NBA today as they are off for the All-Star break, but plenty of value in college hoops, also in hockey. Don't forget about our perfect parlay contest, by the way. Go to our YouTube page. In the comments, leave your best bet for the night. If your best bet hits and one of our cappers goes perfect on the show, you're eligible for a year-long subscription to SportsLine, and you know how valuable that is. Let's bring in our cappers right now. It is Friday. Right below me, Mikey, what are you going to do? No NBA. Good morning.
Good morning, Coach. That means we're going to start with a lot of college basketball. And my first play of the day that I'll give you in a few minutes actually starts in less than an hour today. So we're going to have some very early Friday morning basketball. I can't wait for it.
Let's go. Let's go. Maestro, you got your mojo back a little bit yesterday. You got to feel good.
Yeah, 4-1 college hoops day. Not going to complain. And yeah, I mean, isn't it amazing to have, I'm looking up at the TV right now and there's going to be live college hoops on in, like an hour. I love it.
And that's why we got to get to our board right now. But first, before we do that, we've got to check out, some storylines that could affect the betting lines today. Maestro, what do you got?
Yeah, 3 items I wanted to touch on. On the good news side, Cade Cunningham's injury doesn't look to be serious. Rolled his ankle last night against Baylor. Not clear if he's going to play against West Virginia, but I think he should be fine for the tournament. This is the number 1 overall pick projected in the NBA. Bad news for Villanova. Gillespie torn MCL, out for the year. Devastating news to lose their senior point guard. And then one line move I'm looking at today. St. Louis destroyed UMass by 21 a few days ago. That was the final regular season game. Then UMass comes back yesterday and destroys St. Joe's, the hottest team. Everybody was on St. Joe's because their best player came back. They had won 4 straight. They lost 100-66 to UMass. So I was real curious what this line was going to be since St. Louis beat UMass by 21 just a few days ago in St. Louis. Opened at 7. And the market is not buying what we saw yesterday with UMass. It's up to 8 now. I'm not sure I'm going to play it at that number. I just think, this is a neutral site. It's not a home game for St. Louis, but people are basically thinking that what UMass did was more a function of St. Joe's not having enough guys and running out of gas.
Wow, interesting, because I was looking at that game too. And we may have to revisit that here in a little bit. But UMass looked really, really good yesterday. All right, real quick, we also have another contest we're running this week over at Apple Podcasts. If you go over there and you leave us a 5-star review and in the comments tell us who you think is going to win the Arnold Palmer Invitational this week. Then on Monday, we're going to announce 5 winners of a year-long subscription to SportsLine, all the cappers, all the simulations. You get it all. But you got to go and leave us that 5-star review at Apple Podcasts. All right, it's time for our plays today. And we start, of course, with our SportsLine plays of the day. And we start in college basketball. Eastern Michigan -2 over Western Michigan. The regular season finale for both of these two teams. Now, for some reason, Western Michigan should be the favorite, and they're not. So what is that telling us? It tells us we're hopping on Eastern Michigan -2. Eagles are 1-8 against the spread in their last 9 games as an underdog. Think about that for a second. Our other play today, we're going to the NHL. The Blackhawks +175 against Tampa Bay. Now, these two played an incredibly entertaining game on Thursday. The Lightning won with a second left in overtime. Think about that. And at +175, we're going to take the Blackhawks all day and all night. All right. It's time for our
Coach, I just want to interrupt you. I'm not sure how you phrased it, but we are on Western Michigan -2.
I said it's Eastern Michigan, and you're right. I did say that incorrectly. Western Michigan -2, not Eastern Michigan. I'm sorry.
No problem.
But which team? I want to make sure we're right. We're playing Western Michigan.
Correct.
Thank you. All right, here we go. M squared, you're up, sir. Give it to me.
All right, Coach, we're going to go to the A-10 quarterfinals, and we got the Bonnies and the Dukes here. So the Dukes beat Richmond yesterday as underdogs. They won that game outright in pretty convincing fashion for them as they kind of pulled away there. So that's what is impacting this line here. So the Bonnies are coming off a loss in their last game. We just saw the Dukes pick up that win here. This line is inflated by about 2 points. The Dukes are now on the second day of a back-to-back here in the conference tournament. So I make this line minus 9.1 for the Bonnies. You can currently grab it in the market around -7, -7.5. This game does tip early. You're going to see a lot of action coming towards it in the next hour. I expect it to close around -8. I would play it up to -9 if I had to. But definitely get on it as early as you can here. I like it a lot. As much as the Dukes did well yesterday, I think this is a really, really difficult spot for them to win back-to-back this early in the morning there. And then my second game is going to be Louisiana Monroe against South Alabama. This Monroe team is 8-2 in their last 10 games against the spread. They're simply the better team here, in my opinion. I'm not going to say that they should be favored necessarily, but I like the way that they stack up in the metrics here. They're getting 5 points. My simulations only make them +2, and I could make some very strong arguments to make that game even closer to a pick 'em. So getting 5 points in this spot with Louisiana Monroe is a really, really, really good line. I would expect that to come down just a little bit this afternoon. I'm guessing it's going to close around +4, so I would jump on that one as early as you can as well.
All right, that first game's an 11 a.m. tip, as you said. Second game's a 6:30 Eastern tip. All right, Maestro, I know you've got stuff all across the board, all across the country. The floor is yours.
Okay, going out west to start at 2 p.m. Eastern time. Sacramento State only 4-8. Going to Montana State, which is 10-8, getting 5 points. In my mind, these teams are almost equal. Maybe Montana State a little bit better, but this should not be 5 points. Take Sacramento State, and I'll tell you why. Their schedule, it's all because of scheduling and cancellations. They just played the top 2 teams, Weber State and Southern Utah, in the Big Sky 4 times. They lost all 4, but they actually only lost by 2 to Weber State the last time out. A very impressive performance. You look at Montana State, they started 6-0 because they played 3 of the worst teams in the conference, teams that Sacramento State did not get to play due to cancellations. Montana State also lost to Idaho, which was Idaho's only win of the season. That was 2 games ago. So I just think too many points. Take Sacramento State +5 early afternoon. And then staying out west, Colorado State visiting Nevada. Open as a pick 'em. It's now -1. Colorado State's the better team. Nevada has actually only played 2 games in the past month, and they lost both to Utah State. One time they got down by 25. They came back and almost made it a game, almost won. They lost by 3. The next day, they got blown out. Colorado State trending upward, still has a chance to win the Mountain West at 14-3. I like Colorado State. And then Georgia Tech, it could be a letdown spot. They beat Duke for the first time in 15 tries. They're going on the road for the regular season finale at Wake Forest. Everyone says they're in the tournament. They haven't been to the tournament since 2010, this Georgia Tech program, which used to be such an elite program. And Wake Forest is terrible. They've lost 5 straight by an average of almost 23 points. They lost by Pitt, which had just lost 2 of its top 3 players. They lost to Pitt by 13. Georgia Tech laying 9. I don't think it's a letdown. I think this team is hungry. They know they're going to the tournament. They don't want to slip up. I'm going to lay the 9 with Georgia Tech.
Oh, so much great information. Knowledge is power. We're up against it. Let's go. Grab your paper, grab your pencil. Here is our recap. M squared, we'll start with you. This game is an 11 a.m. Eastern tip. I just looked at my book. It's already up to 7.5. Get it now. Mikey said he'd played up to 8, maybe even 8.5. Louisiana Monroe, +5. Then the Maestro, he likes Sacramento State, +5. Says maybe it should be around only +2, so a lot of value there. Georgia Tech, -9 over Wake Forest. Colorado State, -1 over Nevada. Check the start times, people. Turn on your notifications. Western Michigan, -2. Western Michigan, -2 over Eastern Michigan. Want to be very clear on that. And then the Blackhawks, +175 against the Lightning today. By the way, I mentioned turning on those notifications. We have a very special UFC 259 only episode of The Early Edge with Ian Parker, our MMA guru from SportsLine. We will be taping that this afternoon. Turn on your notifications from YouTube and Apple and Spotify, so when that drops into your feed, you will know it, you can watch it, and get all of our best bets for tomorrow. 15 fights on the card. How do we give you just 4 or 5 best bets? That's our job. Your job is to watch. You've got your marching orders. Let's take every single ticket today. No NBA, that's fine. It's all green to us. Straight to the pay window. For M Squared, for Chief, for the Maestro, for the Jeweler, I am the coach. Remember, this is the only place for your daily early edge. Good luck.